All right, guys, today we are going to be painting your clay animal pinch pots. These have come out of the kiln, and so they have turned from gray clay to a more solid white clay. So when clay comes out of the kiln, it bonds all of the minerals and everything together so that they are much more durable. However, we still need to be very careful with these as it is still ceramic and it can break if you drop it. So just be really gentle with these when you are working with them and taking them home. So the supplies you need for today are a messy mat. You need a few different sizes of paint brushes, a water cup, and you also need some watercolors. I have all the rainbow colors on the palettes, and then I also have black and brown separately if you need those for your animal as well. So you can choose to paint your animal in realistic colors or made up colors. So I think for mine, I'm gonna do made up colors just because I want it to be a little bit more fun. But if you wanna do realistic colors for yours, that is totally fine as well. So just like when we are painting on paper, we need to add water to our watercolors and make sure you really stir them around so that your color is not super watery. And then you just apply it to your clay. So since this is clay, you might notice that it kind of soaks in way faster than if it were paper. And it also might spread a little bit faster. So just kind of be careful of that when you are painting like next to different shapes. Like here, when I'm painting next to the ear, I'm gonna go right up next to that edge and just start doing my first layer of paint all over my dog's body. And I'm doing a blue dog today. So you don't need to paint the whole bottom of your pot. I'm painting kind of a lot of mine because I don't want any white spots to show. You can paint it if you want, but you don't have to. We also want to paint the top edge and the inside as well. And then I've got some little spaces in here that I can't quite reach with that size brush, so I'm going to switch to a smaller brush and fill those in. So now I'm also going to use my smaller brush for some details. And you always want to check the edges because these are three-dimensional shapes. So you want to check and make sure you're painting the sides of everything too. So since this is watercolor, it is very runny. So you need to be careful to hold your pinch pot as flat as you can while you're painting, and that way it won't drip into something that you don't want it to. If that does happen and it drips somewhere that you don't want that color, you can always let it dry and then paint over it with the correct color. So now I'm gonna make sure that I do not have any white spots showing in my clay. So I'm gonna very carefully turn my clay all the way around, look for any spaces that I forgot to paint. And if you need me to check this for you and help you out a little bit, I can definitely do that for you. All right, and then the last thing we're gonna do is you can use a smaller brush and a contrasting color. So remember, contrast means like light and dark next to each other. So in this case, I'm gonna choose darker colors. And you can paint inside your texture to kind of make it stand out more. So here I've got some dark purple on my brush, and I can go in and paint a little bit in those texture lines that I carved in just to make it stand out and pop a little bit more. And maybe I want to do some dark purple in here as well. All right, guys, so when you're finished with your pinch pot today, we're gonna let them dry, and then I'm going to clear coat them so they are shinier, and then you will get to take them home. So when you're finished, you can put away your paints and your brushes and your messy mat. You can put your clay project on the tray in the room, and then you can clean up your area.